how I cleared subconscious blocks to manifest what I wanted. You're going to want to watch this video if you're making progress, but you keep on hitting those brick walls or those obstacles and you're just not breaking through, and you need something to just make sense in your head so you can finally go, oh, I've got it. The searching is over. It's in this video. I've done the work for you. It took me about 20 years to figure it out, but I've done it and it's in this video. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the other side. You are watching this video because you're ready for a transformation. You're already noticing that you're evolving, you're getting better, you're becoming wiser, things are working, but you need that transformation. I was the same. I was really looking for something monumental, something that I could go, wow, this works, this works, this works, just got to keep doing those things. So comment below before we even start, I am ready for my transformation if you're at that place in time. I just want to quickly share you my transformation, and you might not be where I was, but I just want to share these things just so you know how powerful this stuff is before we even go into it. So I don't know if you know my story or not, but I was very dyslexic at school, which led me to having no self-worth, no self-belief about myself, all of that. It was very, very difficult. And because of that, I didn't know how to study and I didn't know how to focus. All of these things that we just take for granted, it just didn't work up here. It just wasn't happening. And it was a major block on my journey. So that was one of the first things I needed to really find a breakthrough in, was how to just do life better, just the basics. That was my major block. Then, cut a long story short, had a bit of an awakening because I was pulling this thread and I was really diving deep into all of this stuff, consuming so much positive psychology, positive reprogramming. I opened myself up to intuition, downloads, whatever you want to call it, and I was flooded with ideas and potential of my being. And it was massively overwhelming. Before that, I was overwhelmed because I couldn't do life. Now I was overwhelmed because I had so much excitement and joy and things that I could potentially do. I just didn't even know where to start. So that was the new problem. And because of this, I now wanted to do a million things. I now wanted to complete my bucket list. I was now excited about life. I had no consistency. I was starting things and stopping things. My life was a yo-yo. I was like, I'll try this. Oh, then I'll try this. And I was all over the place, thus adding more overwhelmment to my life. And then of course came the distractions from everywhere. Life is full of distractions. And once you master this stuff that we're going to talk about, all of the distractions disappear. Well, no, they don't. It's kind of like having a secretary that keeps the distractions at the door, so they never quite get through to you unless you say, oh, okay, come on, I'll have a little scroll. And this is one of my favorite things about all of this that we're talking about. It's about being in so much control of yourself and your life, what comes in, what you decide to allow in, and what you let go of. Once you've mastered this, everything becomes easier. Apart from the distractions, I had no time management. I had no organization. I'd gone from having no self-worth, not being able to do life properly, being really insecure, not confident, to finally knowing myself, loving myself, being really excited about life, and then just being overwhelmed with, well, now what? What am I meant to do with all of these good thoughts? How do I put this into something that makes life just better in all areas? Reprogramming your subconscious mind for whatever you want to be, do, and have an experience in life is the name of the game. If you know who you are and you're already rolling, you're already going, this is the last puzzle piece to your story. This is it. Let's break down the conscious and the subconscious thinking mind. Once you have mastered this, everything will start slotting into place because you'll understand what is happening and you will become the master of your domain. So here we go. The conscious mind is about 5% of your brain's activity, and it handles, the day-to-day thinking, solving problems, accepting and rejecting ideas. And when it accepts an idea, it sends it down to the subconscious, below the conscious thinking mind, where pretty much everything happens. This is the mainframe. This is kind of like the computer of your mind. So the subconscious mind, which is below just the kind of day-to-day stuff, handles about 95% of all brain activity. It is the master controller. It is the organizer. It controls and influences everything. And it's thousands of times stronger than the conscious thinking mind. So what we really need to understand before we go any further is our inner world reflects our outer world. So whatever's going on up here is gonna manifest and reflect in your outside world. There really is no difference. It is all one. And this is one of the biggest illusions we've been sold, is that we're all separate. When really, not to digress and go down a whole different tangent, everything is energy and vibration and matter. When you really look at it on a scientific level, there is no separation. Everything is one thing. So if we know this, then it's best to take 100% responsibility for our life, our mind, and think about what we're allowing to go on up here, what we're choosing to accept, and what do we want to actually let go of and reject. So while the conscious thinking mind is solving problems and doing the day-to-day, the subconscious mind is on autopilot. And what we can do, we can dive in deep and we can reprogram our subconscious mind for whatever we desire, as long as we believe we can attainably have it, as long as we believe we can actually be, do, and have what it is that we desire. So reprogramming the subconscious mind is everything. It's everything. And this isn't, we're pioneers on this early wave of change. We truly are the pioneers of this information. If you get on this trip right now, you're going to absolutely soar. And just think about it. You're breathing, your heart's beating, you're thinking, you're walking, you're talking. You're doing all of this stuff and you're not even thinking about how it works. We are powerful beings. I was having a chat with an American friend of mine. We were talking about the states of America, and I said, I learned the states of America when I was about 7 or 8, and I reckon they're still up there. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Colorado, and I just reeled off all of the states of America. I haven't done that in years. It's all up there. It reminded me of how powerful this computer is. I have information up here, as do you, about things that you've studied, you've learned, that you love, and sometimes we just can't access it unless we find that right key. We can unlock things that we've learned, that we've studied. It's all up there. And that's not even the half of it. That's just some of the stuff that we've consumed that's interested us. We are also consuming and downloading things that we are totally unaware of. Limiting beliefs that we've collected, programming from adverts, from parents, from teachers, from culture, from society, from the government, collective consciousness. I know this sounds a bit whoa, but it's true. We are walking around like sponges, and we are downloading, we're soaking stuff up, we are pulling in all of this data, all of this information, all of the time, both consciously and unconsciously. So this is what we're talking about, is realizing this, being aware that as we walk through life, there is more than meets the eye, there is way more going on. And if we know that and we recognize that and we take responsibility for that, and we go, okay, I'm here, I want to be here. How do I get here? And how do I make that gap as short as possible? I'll do what it takes, I'll show up, I'll do the action, but I want to make this as short as possible because this is ultimately where I want to be. Of course, when you get here, there'll be a new here, and that's fine. This is the journey of life. We constantly want to climb these mountains, get to the top and go, yeah, I did it. What's my next mountain? But on that journey, we get distracted. We download limiting beliefs. We fail, we get down, we get thrown off track. All sorts of things happen. Stuff in the family, on the news, it's relentless. Life is relentless. So the point of this video is to go, right, I know all of these things are happening all the time, both internally, both externally. It's happening. There's nothing I can do about that. But what I can do is take control, decide where I want to be, and program myself for that reality. And if I keep showing up, keep doing the action, keep smiling, keep listening to people like this guy, then I can close that gap and get whatever I believe I can have for myself, whatever I can allow for myself. Okay, so when I learned this, everything changed. Everything changed, and it came down to these 3 principles. Let's go. Number 1, the agreement principle. The subconscious mind always agrees. Always. There's no, it always agrees. Every single time it agrees. It's kind of like a computer. This is the best way I can describe it. You have a computer, you program in the software, and you tell the computer what is happening. You create a new code, you create a system. This is what it is. It doesn't think, it doesn't have emotions. It doesn't go, are you sure about that? What about this? There's none of that. It just does. And we're talking about your mind. There's a part of your mind that accepts information no matter what. So we've got to take this and go, oh, okay, I could be telling myself bad things, terrible things about myself, or limiting things about myself. I can't do this. Oh, that's not for me. Oh, I don't think I can, all that kind of stuff. Or you can be telling yourself things that you do want to be, do and have and experience that maybe you don't have right now, but you want to in the future. And if you feed this in, knowing that your subconscious mind always only accepts, well then we're on something. Number 2, the compliance principle. The subconscious mind always moves in the direction of the command, without fail. Whatever you program in there, it goes, okay, let's go. There's no, okay, oh, hang on, I've just got another call. There's none of that. There's no, okay, I've got the information. Oh, wait, hang on. Let me just check the diary. None of that. You give the information, it takes it and goes, okay. So knowing this has got to make you go, I could essentially manipulate myself to achieve what I want. The 3rd principle is my favorite because it's the one that just clicks so easily. It's the repetition principle. The more you repeat an idea into your mind, the more it imprints images or information on your subconscious mind. What this is doing is it's firing and wiring new neural pathways in your brain. So what the hell does that mean? If you think about like sledging on a big hill, and you go up there with your sledge and the snow's coming down, and you go down the hill on your sledge and you're kind of carving out a new route, a new path. When you go back up to the hill again, that path is visible. And when you lock in, you'll probably go down faster because you've already made the path. If you keep doing that, then that path essentially turns into kind of like ice and it becomes like a toboggan, it's just you go down. This is exactly what it's like in the brain. You essentially create new highways to transfer information. And the ones you no longer want, you can dismantle and create new superhighways where you can take the information like that. And the more you do this through repetition of listening, of reading, or affirmations, or a million different ways we can do it, your subconscious mind starts to accept the information as a default setting. This is who I am. This is what I believe. This is what I like. This is what I do. It's just up to you to do the programming. What do I want to achieve in my life? What could I achieve? All of that just becomes a playground. I've done that and my transformation has been monumental. So much so that I quit everything I was doing and dove into this so I could teach other people to do it. I felt compelled to share this information. So if you're following, say yes. I want to know that you are understanding this and you're excited about this, because this is exciting. And I cannot wait to see what happens in your life when you apply this stuff. So when you're crystal clear on your vision, you know where you're going, you know where you want to be, and you start feeding this in and you imprint this constantly, you use this repetition to imprint this into your mind. It takes root in your deep subconscious mind. And when you do this, you are far more likely to change, to evolve, to transform, to become that which you desire in a short space of time. So this is what I'm doing with my clients, and this is why I'm smiling today, because my life has monumentally, profoundly transformed. And this is why I sleep well at night and wake up in the morning each day, because where I've come from and where I am now and seeing the results in my clients' lives too is just so heartwarming. They're doing this through my big transformation course, which you can check out in the info, or I'm leading people through a 1 month, a 3 month, or a 6 month coaching program where we look at your life and we map it all out. We create that vision. We decide where we are now, where we want to be. And I help you rewire yourself to be, do, have, and experience that which you desire. We look at the obstacles, the blocks, the distractions. We learn to block them, to wax on, to wax off, and ultimately become the version of you that you're destined to be, that you want to be, that you're feeling called to be. So yeah, I was dyslexic, I was dyspraxic at school, and I had learning difficulties in my vocabulary. It was terrible. Now I'm incredibly good at spelling. I have a huge vocabulary. I feel confident in how I'm speaking, and I have changed the wiring in my brain to reflect on who I wanted to be. I no longer even say I'm dyslexic. I always say I was dyslexic. I didn't know how to study. I remember asking multiple people, how do you actually study? And so many times people looked at me like I was crazy. Like, what? How do you just study? I never studied at school because I couldn't do it. And when I finally found things that I wanted to study, I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. I literally didn't know. I know it sounds crazy, but I didn't know I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to focus. Now I study, I consume information, I put my own spin on things, and I move things around like Rain Man, and I love it. I was so overwhelmed with floods of ideas, inspiration, intuition, things I could do, all of these millions of things that I could do, and I was really excited. I was like, how am I going to do it? And then because of this programming, I looked at it all from a different space, and I looked at the things that were going to get me from here to here, and I put the rest on a shelf, and then everything else just became distractions that I just had to do that and stay focused. And I never would have been able to stay focused if it wasn't for all of this that we're talking about now. Being crystal clear on where you're going, what you truly want, and having a big reason for doing it. Something that fuels the fire. And then when all the distractions come up, because they do, and they always will, it happens in mind and it happens in life all of the time. Oh, sorry, my phone's just going off. There's no phone. See what I mean? That was a fake distraction I just made up. Things happen. Oh, someone's at the door. There's no one at the door. There's no one at the door. Another fake distraction to emphasize the point. Things happen all of the time. And when we're focused on the vision, focused on what we're doing, the door, the phone, any shiny object will not get in the way of you completing your mission. And that's essentially staying in the action, not getting distracted, and seeing something through until it's come to fruition. That's how you become successful at what you're doing. I also had no consistency. I never followed anything through until it bloomed. And this is because distractions were pulling me in all sorts of different directions, and I was thrown off course all of the time. But I was throwing myself off course. It wasn't life. Life's always going to throw you this stuff. When you are grounded and so tuned in, and you know how this works, and then my time management got better. I started organizing myself, time coding my day sometimes, not all the time, doing the routines until they were just ingrained, so I didn't even need to do all the routines all the time. The meditation, the yoga, all of that stuff. It just becomes second nature. And this is where I want you to be. I want you to be so in control of your life, so in control of your vision, so in tune with who you are and what you're doing, that nothing will stop you from achieving your goal. You are here right now. You want to be there. We all want to be there. And what I want you to do is to be grateful for here, grateful for who you are, all that you've become, everything on your journey. And I want you to get really excited about this, really crystal clear, really excited. And then if you want to take it to a whole new level and you want to make that journey as quick as possible, get in touch, work with me, and we'll make it happen. But thanks for watching. I hope this has been helpful. Start reprogramming yourself today for what you do want. Don't get sidetracked by all the distractions of life. Subscribe to the channel if you dig this stuff. Like the video. Let me know that you're picking up what I'm putting down. Thanks so much for watching. Keep being amazing. I'll see you on the next one.